I'm feeling good this morning with a cup of Joe. Dun. Good this morning. Chimera doesn't blow. Dun.
That was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, that was bad.
I am inspired to buy some Chimera coffee.
On that note, just give the coupon code because they're definitely going to just chime in.
Yeah, chimeracoffee.com. Coupon code show
On
the
a
art.
cup of Joe.
And feel like Ames right now on Cloud 9.
Cloud 9, baby.
Our next sponsor is Inverted Gear. Go to invertedgear.com. They have a bunch of gear on there that's inverted. They sell jiu-jitsu stuff, gis, rash guards, shorts, anything you want to train on the mats, they got it. So go to invertedgear.com, type in the coupon code SHOWTHEART15, and you will save yourself some money. Boom. Boom.
Hey, what is going on, people? You're listening to the Show the Art podcast. We are your host. My name is Ames. Alongside with me is my brother, Abe.
Yo.
Awad. How we feeling, man?
Good, man. What's up?
Good, man. What you sipping on, dog?
Some coffee. Some Mod Cup brewed coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
Homebrew.
Okay. Which bean did you get?
The one that we bought together. Remember, I forget what it was. Sumatra?
Sumatra.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tastes good?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I love coffee.
I used my brewer.
Oh,
My cold brewer.
nice.
Slow
You want to
drip.
get into that, or just give them like a quick detail or like
Yeah,
a visual
sure.
of what that is?
So that it's by the company Brewer, BREUER, something like that,
Okay.
or just UER Brewer,
Okay.
and it makes cold brew coffee, not the traditional way you see where like you either put it in
Steep
the
it,
sack
yeah.
or you steep it for like 12 hours. This one is like one of those one drip at a time type deals for your home.
Okay.
So without even explaining it, just think of it. It's a mechanism. You brew the coffee, you put the water in, and then it drops one drop at a time into the bed of coffee grounds.
Okay.
And then for the most part, one drip at a time will come down.
Interesting. Okay,
So
cool.
it's like one drip, and then somehow that drop, it's not going by itself. It's pushing
Yeah.
other water down.
True.
And then like, yeah. So it's like,
How does it taste?
it's good. I mean, I'm still finding the right ratios.
Yeah, you're
It's
still
hard.
fine tuning it. That's
Yeah.
a tough part. Like being excited about getting like a new coffee device, or
Yeah.
just anything. Like you get like a new pan when you're cooking or anything. It's just like playing around with it.
Yeah, figuring it out. And here's the thing. One thing that made me settle now was making coffee at home and
Mhm.
not feel bad about settling with making coffee at home
Yeah.
is when we went to Mod Cup, one of our favorite spots.
Yeah.
The guy there was like, listen, I make coffee at home and I'm always disappointed. And I'm
True.
a professional guy.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just impossible to recreate what the equipment we have in the shop.
True. Yeah.
So don't feel bad when it doesn't come out like it does at the store. So just appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's the one thing I enjoy about it is like a science. It's like I like to take notes, like how much water I'm using, the
Okay.
heat, like the agitation, meaning like how fast the water I'm pouring
Yeah.
the water over,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that stuff. Because every time I
The
do
bloom.
it, like the bloom, the grind size of the coffee, everything changes
Yeah.
the taste of the coffee,
For
man.
real.
And that's what I find so interesting. That's why we've been into coffee for how long have you been into coffee now?
I don't know, maybe 2
I'm not-
years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Same.
same.
So 2 years getting really into it, but yeah, man. So yeah. Other than that, let's get right into it, man.
Yo,
This is a hurtful one, man. This
Uh-huh.
one hurt.
so BJ Yair, what are your thoughts?
Broken hearted, man.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just like it reminds me of a Floyd Mayweather matchup where the promos get you where you think, oh, that guy, whoever's facing Mayweather has a chance.
Yeah.
They always hype it up. Or like you always know, like he's not. There's no way they're gonna beat him. But then when you watch a promo, you're like, oh,
yeah.
you know what? Maybe they do. And then when it's over, you're like, nah, I'm a fool.
Yeah.
You got me. Same thing with BJ Penn. It's just like with him, it's just like you always have a feeling, or it's just your heart wants him to win because he hasn't won since 2007. It's been a while.
It's like 10 or something. Yeah, he lost like 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And then he retired for 3 years.
Yeah, so it's
3
been a
and half
long time. It's not like he's been fighting throughout that whole duration, like he's been out. But man, it's been a long time. So you're pulling for him just because you remember how he looked like at his prime, like Sean Shirk, K-Flow,
Yeah.
all those.
Diego Sanchez.
Oh, man.
Joe Stevenson.
That one, that bloody, that bloodbath.
Even his first match with Frankie, he looked great.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's true.
Right?
That's true, yeah.
He lost to Frankie their first match by like a split decision.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very controversial.
Yeah.
That's why they ran it back immediately.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, and then when you see when a fight went down, once the bell rang, you're hopeful, very hopeful watching him. He's the one kind of, in the beginning of the match, he was kind of taking the offense.
Yeah.
Like taking it to him.
And that was good.
Yeah, that was good. And then
you're just unloaded, man.
he unloaded, and little by little, your heart just kind of sinks in. You just feeling a defeat, and then you see, I think Penn caught him with a nice right. You're cheering, and then it just kind of.
And that's the thing, like, BJ Penn is a veteran, a legend.
Yeah,
he's accomplished the pinnacle multiple occasions.
Everything, man.
So, like, he has the experience that you have to respect.
Yes.
That's why Yair was staying at kick range and not at punch range.
True.
And the couple times that BJ caught him, those could have easily been night-night punches.
Yeah, man.
But and if you slip up and BJ gets on top of you, it might be a wrap.
He actually went for that thing where you talk, like he went for a takedown. Like in the beginning, he took him right to the cage. I'm like, oh, okay, he's gonna work on.
He should have played that more. Fight from the clinch, but man, like you said,
it hurt, man. Like little by little, he would just chip away with those kicks, and I don't know if you could see in BJ's eyes, like
the confidence was dwindling.
Yeah, you could see it. Like, man, I don't want. And he started backing up. Once he started backing up, I'm like, this is.
Well, he was probably hurt. I mean, a couple of those head kicks were blocked.
Even he
blocked him.
It was blocked, man. He had his hand up, and still, woof, he felt those kicks, man. You could just see youth on Yair's side.
Granted,
man.
Yair was winging those kicks. He was trying to knock him out with it.
He was.
And he was throwing them lightning fast. Yair was trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
And his point was, don't F with me.
Mm-hmm.
UFC, don't F with me. You're going to throw somebody at me?
Yeah.
This is not wishful thinking when it comes to Yair. I'm the real deal.
Yeah.
And I felt like UFC booking BJ versus Yair after BJ being out for so long.
Yeah.
And even before that, he wasn't his skills were already diminishing. Like, we already felt like, all right, the end of BJ.
Yeah.
So BJ's been practically not himself for like 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah, man.
And they could have matched him up way better with like a Dennis Siver or somebody. Nothing against Dennis Siver. Someone who's a little older.
A little tune-up, like a tune-up fight for him.
Where BJ, he might even still lose that fight, but there's a better
chance.
Yeah. And it's not somebody that's like super young, super aggressive, super energetic, someone who's physically more strong than you.
Yeah.
What I thought this fight was, and like you said, the promos gave hope.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, it reminded me again of what we're dealing with.
Yes.
We're dealing with the UFC, the monster.
Yeah, man.
Not in a negative sense, but UFC, the huge organization.
Yeah.
They know what the fuck they're doing.
Yep.
And what they did was they sent a message to BJ saying, you keep wanting to fight, this is it.
Yeah.
We're giving you Yair. And when Yair does to you what we think he's going to do to you, I hope this is a good reminder of stay away. Because we don't want to keep defending you. You're our guy.
Yeah,
BJ, you're our guy.
Yeah. You helped us.
You helped us. You won the championship. We believed in you from the beginning.
Yeah.
We've done you all these favors. We opened up that UFC BJ Penn gym.
True.
Like, what more do you want? And I get it. Your desire to win and to fight trumps all that.
Yeah.
But enough's enough.
It's all right.
You can't compete now, man.
You can't, man.
No
just
offense,
the way
but you can't.
he looked like a shell of himself, man. I guess we could say that now just because we've seen him through the years. Like, it's when I hear that, to me that sounds like an old time thing. But now I'm like, all the athletes we see now, like when LeBron starts fading away, because we're at the point where we appreciate these players and we kind of grew up with them and see them kind of like fade out. And this is what we're seeing with BJ Penn. It's just fading. It's just time catches up. A good
example,
man, all the time.
On the Cavs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, man.
You're watching Richard Jefferson play, and you're like, man, there's a couple of great plays in there.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll dunk on somebody every now and then. But you're like,
yeah,
this dude was playing, in the championship game.
2003 or against the Spurs.
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I mean?
It's over.
Yeah, it's over, man.
He's a fifth string now. But that's what he's a role player now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in MMA, there's no role playing.
Nah, none of that. It's just it's a team effort when like the fighting camp is going on, but once you're in that cage, man, majority that's all you, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the coaches kind of coaching you up, but it's just you in the cage with the other guy.
Yeah.
But let's keep it to kind of with the basketball feel, since, like, say this is the end of BJ Penn, he retires, right? If we could compare him to an NBA player, who would you compare him to? Any Hall of Fame?
Like the fact that he keeps retiring, or on his greatness?
Just like on his greatness, like the level, his attributes. I have someone in mind. It just hit me while I was driving here.
It would have to be somebody who's won the chip.
Yeah. Oh, then that throws me off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you could easily say like a Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
But Charles never won it.
Yeah,
BJ won it twice in 2 different weight classes.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it's hard. It could be a number of different guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. Who do you think?
If I were if it was championship, this would be totally scrapped that. But the player that he reminds me of, okay, let's put it this way: he's a smaller guy, scrappy. He'll go up against anyone or whatever. Kind of
feisty.
Yeah, feisty. Kind of change the game, but didn't change the game. Kind of thing where everyone's like looking at him, trying to mimic him. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
The one that reminds you like that NBA, Allen Iverson.
Right. True. Very true.
Right.
Very true. Outspoken.
Yeah.
Has his own style. But the only difference is BJ won the championship, the pinnacle twice.
Yeah, if AI won that championship, he would have been the perfect. But I still think like personality wise, true. And to AI's defense, it was just that's more team game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The onus is not 100% on you.
Exactly. So I mean you're regarded on if you won a championship, like you're. How do you say it? I can't articulate the word. Like where you're put up in the NBA with amongst the greats is how many championships you win.
True.
You know what I mean? But
which is a good gauge. You know.
Yeah.
Now with that same feel, could you relate a guy who wins? Let's say in the UFC, a guy like BJ Penn who won the 170 belt by destroying Matt Hughes.
Yes.
And then going away and then coming back and winning the 155 belt. 2 different weight classes at 2 different times.
Yeah.
The same as someone in the NBA who wins 2 different championships on 2 different teams.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like when LeBron left Miami, came back to Cleveland. I mean, but even then, by that time, he had 2 rings, right?
Yeah, he won.
But still, no.
But
Would you consider him amongst LeBron James, amongst
true. Yeah, one of that.
Shaq?
He's up there just because he won 2 championships, man. He's definitely up there.
I'll tell you what, though.
Yeah.
And I love BJ, but I'll tell you what.
What's up?
If he didn't win those 2 belts, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because his record is terrible.
Yeah, it'd be like it's us talking about like Diego Sanchez or Clay Guida type of thing.
Worse.
Yeah.
Worse, man.
Yeah.
No offense, but BJ, man, you I don't know, man.
He picked up a lot of L's.
He picked up a lot of L's and a lot of disappointing performances where you're like, dude, why'd you even fight? Like, why'd you fight?
You know
like
what?
that?
It's not even the losses, cause it's
the way he fought.
Yeah, it's just the way he lost.
Yeah,
type of thing.
And I love BJ.
Yeah, man.
And for a and that's one thing we have to look at when we're talking about, the best ever or the list of the best ever, top whatever. It doesn't have to be their whole career, but their stretch.
Yeah.
Their stretch of greatness. How long was their stretch of greatness? Yeah. And how great was it for that time?
How great was that stretch? How dominating were they? Man?
So BJ, his stretch was long enough to be considered. It wasn't like a 1-year deal. And he was very dominant. And like, here's another thing: his most dominant performance. How does that
scale
against everybody else's most dominant?
True.
Like BJ beating Diego Sanchez, for example. That performance he put on. That's one of the most dominant, like beautiful, like technical, performance you can ever put on.
Eat that one, man.
Ever in MMA.
Yeah.
Compare that to like an Anderson Silva beating Forrest Griffin. Like how does that compare? And then John Jones, does he have a very dominant performance like that? If so, who does that compare to?
That's true. I'm like for me personally, if we're doing a scale or like a list of greatest of all time, it's debatable in that if he could crack like the top 4, top 5.
He's not going to crack the top 5.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about top 15,
top 15, top 10, all that stuff.
Maybe even top 10.
We could debate that, but in the list of like my favorite fighters to watch, or it was just because like his heart, like when he was there, man, it's just he was just down to fight whoever. You're talking about a guy who fought at 155 and fought Machida at 205, I believe, right?
Boom.
Right? It's just like that type of thing is what kind of gets me, I gravitate. Like, you know what? He's down to fight whoever wants to fight. He's down to fight them.
And capturing fans, that's a big deal.
Oh,
that's a big deal.
Man.
That makes a difference.
Polarizing, man. He's very polarizing.
Because there's so many guys out there that don't capture fans, but are great fighters.
Yeah, yes.
And it's like, are they the greatest of all time? I don't know, because they didn't do everything. You got to do everything.
You got to do everything.
You got to do everything.
You got to capture the fans. You got it just elevates you even more.
Because here's a good example. There's guys out there in MMA, professional MMA, great records. Yeah. And just they destroy guys with one style, like a Ben Askren. Okay. Ben Askren destroys people on the ground. He just takes them down, mauls them, doesn't let them out. Yeah. They're stuck under this big giant rock. It's not pretty to watch.
It's not.
It's not. It's if you're not a fan, it's very boring. Yeah. But it's not polarizing. It doesn't capture fans' imaginations. Yeah. So can he be considered the greatest of all time with a great record? No. No. He
didn't capture you. If he's not capturing, if you're not tuning in to watch him, if you're not paying to watch him, he doesn't get it for you. Another example is Gegard Mousasi, who's killing it right now. But no one's talking about him. He wants. I like there's report like he wants to get some fights in. No one I'm not saying no one wants to fight him, but he doesn't have anyone want to fight him.
Yeah, because he's that good. He's dangerous. But also they feel that he's not a seller. Yeah. So it's like I'm gonna face a guy that's not gonna push me up in the ranks, but. Here's another thing. UFC needs to push that guy a little more.
They do,
That's their fault. Yeah. If they push Mousasi, there's no problem anymore.
They got to do more promos for him. You could tell he's not really the talker, so I think it's a UFC's job to sell for him. Just like to bring it to WWE, you have someone that's not really a talker, like Brock Lesnar. You put someone like a manager, Paul Heyman, behind him and just does all the talking. Yeah. That's what gets you the seats.
And now it's a different type of
feel,
yeah.
No, I hear you. And then you have those once in a lifetime people like Hulk Hogan, Conor McGregor. Yeah.
But Mousasi is willing to talk now.
Yeah.
Mousasi, he's been talking.
And it's just his personality. He's just super humble. He just doesn't really, he's not that type of guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
But honestly, man, he captures me with his performances. They're beautiful to watch.
Absolutely.
He's a great fighter. I think the UFC just needs to push him a little more.
They do, man.
And they need to give him that shot. Yeah. Hey, give me Luke Rockhold. Give me one of the top guys that you guys are pushing. Yeah. And if I beat him, now let's do this thing. But if I don't, then I guess
it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of like who's that guy? Anderson Silva fought someone from Korea. It just kept he was just lining up.
Yushin Okami?
Yeah, Yushin Okami. Where you thought he had a chance of what Anderson wiped the floor with him. Yeah.
Because I believe Yushin beat Anderson. I think that was his last loss up until that time.
Yeah, okay.
And then this was like the redemption fight. Anderson cleared his record.
He redeemed himself.
He pretty much beat everybody that he could that had beat him before, with the exception of, I think, everybody actually. Yeah. And he wanted that fight. And yeah, you're right. Yushin was on a winning streak, and people were
quiet.
Like, oh, shit,
you say you think he might have a chance, but at least he had a chance. He had a chance. So same thing with Gegard Mousasi. Just give him a chance. We'll see if he rises to the occasion. Then
you gave Bisping a chance.
Exactly, and he's been in the game for like 10 years, man, or even longer. Yeah, 10 years. What are we talking about?
Now, speaking of Anderson, he's facing Derek Brunson in Brooklyn. Yeah, in like a month and a half.
How does that make you feel?
I think that's a good matchup. Okay. I think Derek Brunson's very dangerous. Yeah. He's in the top 10, I believe. Yes. I think he might be ranked higher than Anderson. I think right now Anderson is rated number 7. Okay. Whereas Brunson is rated number 6, I believe.
You want to check the door?
No, for some reason there's like an ambulance outside. Okay. Because I'm so sick on the mic.
No, he's not. Keep going.
So I think it's a good matchup. Yeah. Because you can't put Anderson against the top guys that they're pushing, because the guy is a great fighter, greatest of all time, yes, but his record as of late doesn't show that. Yeah. It doesn't show that. You can't keep pushing him against the best guys when he's not winning. Yeah. But you give him Derek Brunson, and it's one of those BJ Penn, Yair Rodriguez
fights. Exactly what it is.
It's like, all right, this is either the end of Anderson, or it shows that he could still compete.
It's true.
And, hey, if you win this fight against this dangerous guy who's making a name for himself, we'll push you again. Yeah. And you show that you can easily handle this guy like you used to. Yeah. If this was 6 years ago, Anderson would handle Derek Brunson like it was nobody's business. Yeah. No offense to Derek Brunson. No. But it was like you caught Anderson in the greatest stretch.
Level, yeah.
In his highest level, exactly. But Now
it's like a different story, man.
It's a different story.
Yeah.
It's all up in the air. I like this fight though because this works for Anderson. It's a fight he can win, but it's also a fight Derek Brunson can win. It makes sense as far as the rankings are concerned.
Yeah.
I
think it's placed perfectly. I think where you have it, it's kind of like a win-win. If Anderson Silva wins, you could build him up and get him to face a higher level. If Derek Brunson wins, he could build off that star power beating Anderson Silva, just like Yair. Yair is going to build off that BJ Penn win because I bet you a lot of casual fans are watching.
But here's the thing, man. No offense. You beat BJ Penn after a long-ass layoff, and before the layoff, he didn't look hot.
Yeah.
Like, Yair took this fight probably for the money and to knock it off the list, but you didn't beat anybody special.
No. Just the name-wise. I'm talking about name-wise. Like, him beating BJ Penn is like, if Brunson, a lot more people will know who Derek Brunson is.
Sure. But I think it's bigger. It's a bigger accomplishment beating Anderson at this stage of his career than it was beating BJ
at this stage of career.
Anderson's still very dangerous.
Well, I'm with you 100%.
And he's been competing, whereas BJ is not dangerous and he hasn't been competing.
True. So this one, you still feel like Anderson has a chance more than BJ Penn. Yeah. BJ Penn for us, I think it was just more heart than anything, man. Because I flip-flopped. I'm not gonna lie, I flip-flopped. I said Yair
because your brain was telling you Yair, but your heart was telling you BJ, and that's fine.
That's fine.
But here's the thing: I believe I'm gonna go out on a limb on saying this.
Okay.
I believe that Anderson went on this weird stretch, right?
Yeah.
He got knocked out. For the first time against Chris Weidman after clowning around.
Yeah.
Right? And that destroyed his confidence. Then the next fight against Weidman, he tried to kind of come back and Weidman kind of took him down that first round and manhandled him. Then he came out in the second round and started looking hot, then broke his leg. Yeah. So that's another confidence destroyer, right? Yeah. You lost a little confidence because he knocked you out with the hands. Then you break your leg kicking. Now you have no confidence kicking.
Yeah, what's a guy to do?
Then he comes back, faces Nick Diaz, beats him, and he looked great. Yeah. He looked really good. He looked like he wasn't trying to get knocked out, but at the same time, he looked great. Yeah. He was doing very good stuff. Okay. He looked like he had confidence. And then he got busted for fake Viagra, right? That's what they said. Yeah. And then he's out for another year. Then he comes back and fights Bisping, and another retarded thing happens to the guy.
A mishap.
So what I felt like he needed was something to relieve him.
Yeah.
And I feel that the Daniel Cormier fight relieved him of all that. Because he took it on 2 days' notice against the former champ. Against the champ. Sorry, he's not the former champ. He's the champ at a heavier weight class. And you fared well against him.
Yeah.
And at the end of the fight, when it counts most, it looked like you had it. You had a chance of beating him.
True.
And that captured the fans' hearts again, which he needed, and that captured his confidence again. Because he's like, dude, I survived Daniel Cormier trying to grapple me for 2 rounds. Which, even then, Anderson did a great job defending, right? He didn't mount a big offense, but he defended well. He used the lockdown, stopped the hips.
Yeah.
Cormier couldn't do much. And then what happened? He came out in the last round, got up from the bottom, and then started kicking him, started throwing strikes. And Cormier looked like he was hurt.
Yeah.
So I felt like that fight relieved Anderson of everything.
Yeah.
And now he's going to come back fresh. He's able to come back fresh.
Was it Cormier his last fight?
Yeah, that was at UFC 200.
Damn. No.
And I believe that fight is the rebirth of Anderson.
Okay.
Or this fight against Derek Brunson. Anderson is relieved of all the stress, of all the can a guy catch a break type deal.
Yeah.
And I believe that he'll come out
fully.
He'll look great against Derek Brunson. I believe he'll beat Derek Brunson.
Okay.
And then they're like, boom, Anderson, let's get you back on track.
There you go.
The only issue is
it's
what's next.
Because
if he beats Derek Brunson, which I believe he will,
what's next?
Luke Rockhold is not an easy fight.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
He's not going to fight Jacare because that's his boy.
Yeah.
Like, who's a guy to fight?
It's tough, man.
That's not dangerous.
From here on out, well, when it comes to not BJJ, MMA legends against the youth that's upcoming, I'm gonna go majority of the time with the youth. So I'm gonna go Derek Brunson. I just think
you should.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Derek Brunson. I think he's gonna catch him just because you see it when they get a lot older, the guys that had chins before, not as much anymore.
True.
So I think Father Time's gonna catch up with him as well. So
nice.
I hope you should. If Silva wins, I'd be ecstatic.
I would love to see Anderson get that rematch with Bisping. If he wins,
that'd be great.
like that sets it up perfectly. The former champ, he beats this guy.
Yeah.
And now whether Bisping in that time beats Yoel or Yoel falls out and Bisping needs a replacement, Anderson, like whatever case, whatever system you want to draw up.
Yep.
I love to see Anderson at least get that fight back.
Yeah. I'd like to see him get. I would love to see him kind of get 1 or 2 fights and then get one more shot at the championship.
I think if he wins this next fight
Yeah.
and knocks Brunson out,
Okay.
you don't need another fight. You could push him right to the championship.
Yeah.
Nobody can argue. It's like, this is the guy, the greatest of all time. Kind of like what Dan Henderson did.
You would have to, just because, out of respect.
and you know he's not going to be here for much longer.
Yeah.
It's like, guys,
they could cut the line. They could cut the line. And, like, of course, if the only people that are going to be mad are the ones in middleweight trying to contend for a champ. Like,
but here's the thing, too. In middleweight, who do you have? Jacare Souza, who just hasn't gotten the shot yet.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, Jacare kept getting the short end of the stick.
Do we have a title fight on?
No.
Not
okay,
yet. So we have
supposed to be
Jacare,
Yoel.
we have Yoel, we have
Gegard, who's they're not showing any love.
Yeah.
Gegard was on the MMA hour talking about he was trying to make the Anderson fight happen. And they said, yeah, we'll do it. And then they gave him Derek Brunson.
And they gave Brunson. I'd be so pissed. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
And then the other top contenders, they're on losing streaks.
Yeah, Weidman,
Luke Rockhold. You're not going to push Anderson Weidman number 3.
Yeah. There's no sexiness to that.
And it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Unless they both won, they're both looking good, and this is kind of like to decide who's going to go for the championship.
It would only work if Anderson was the champion now.
Okay.
If Anderson was not the champion, exactly.
It's a hard sell.
It's a hard sell.
Yeah.
Luke Rockhold is coming off a loss.
Okay.
And he's coming off an injury. It doesn't make sense that they would push. It seems like they would go the route of Weidman, Rockhold next.
Yeah.
That's a fight that those guys want to fight. Want to see, sorry.
They have to. Yeah, they have to put those two against each other.
So, I mean, if Anderson beats Derek Brunson, he could jump the line.
Yeah, he could.
He can.
Yeah, I didn't think about it until now. He could probably jump the line. He won, and then the biggest thing of all, he's Anderson Silva.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. I'm the spider. I think Jacare will respect, like, all right, let that guy go.
Yeah, I
let
got
that
you.
guy go.
Yeah, so hey, let's stick
my
with
people go.
This isn't middleweight. Let's move up to Anderson, who he fought before Chael Sonnen. That was the worst transition. I was trying to transition to it perfectly.
Let's brain fart.
So whatever. Let's go with Bellator.
So how about I do it?
Okay.
All right, guys. So let's go into speaking of Anderson. One of his former foes, Chael Sonnen, is fighting this weekend against Tito Ortiz at Bellator, whatever.
That's why we need you, dog. See, this is
what
why it works between us. I wasn't as excited, but you're getting me excited because for the card, for the Bellator. Usually he doesn't care about Bellator. Let's be real. The only time he talked about it is when we were talking about it when Henderson and Michael Chandler fought. Other than that, he could care less.
Yeah.
Meaning not like I totally get excited for everything, but this Chael Tito Ortiz fight should be
looks
fun.
a little sexy.
It looks a little sexy, and Mr. Halleck Gracie, I forgot he's on the card as well. So I just want to see how he does, man.
Yeah.
He's facing this dude from Japan that looks like he's not from Japan. Hisaka Kato, but he looks like one of those like half Japanese, half Brazilian type of Machida type.
Who else is on that card? There's another good fight, right?
Oh, Paul Daly.
Paul Daly versus
Mr.
who?
Semtex is facing Brennan Ward. That sounds like a boxer, right?
Yeah.
Brennan Ward, right?
Versus
the
Paul
WBO,
Daly. Even
yeah.
Paul Daly.
Yeah,
that's
true.
WBO title.
I just want to see if Paul Daly still got it.
He does, man. I'm a fan of Paul Daly.
Okay.
Obviously, he effed up at a point in his life in the UFC. That's why he got kicked out.
Was it against Dan? Who was it against? The Diaz? No.
Was it Koscheck?
Yeah, it was. He punched him right after the fight. Yeah.
Koscheck probably deserved it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
I know, man. You can't.
And
that was his fault.
I like that the UFC stick to their guns on that.
Yeah.
Because you can't be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
But he did mess
up. He wasn't big enough a name to give him kind of space. If Anderson did that, he would probably get a slap on the wrist. But he probably would have got some kind of.
You can't let Anderson go. But Paul Daly, they're like, beat it.
Yeah, I'm like, you have a shot,
Hit
but you just lost. So
now here's the thing: if Paul Daly went on an incredible win streak and was knocking people out left and right, and was the biggest thing since sliced bread after that, they would
different story.
Find a way to get him back.
Different story.
Yeah.
Like athletes on on like that higher level get treated differently, and they rightly, you have no choice. You got to bite the bullet. Like NFL, someone does something wrong, a little slap on the wrist. Everyone else, if you're like a team practice player, and you do something stupid, like get caught for like drugs, you're kicked off. Opposed to someone getting like,
absolutely
suspension.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like if Tom Brady gets caught smoking weed, they're gonna suspend him for a couple days and slap his wrist. If like a bench player does the same thing,
possibly like you might get cut. Like all those things.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Okay, that's our show, guys. Thank you so much. But Paul Daly versus I have no idea who Brendan Ward is. Hopefully, it'll be fun. Just I want to see what they do, because a lot of times the Bellator, they're top heavy, and then the rest is kind of just like
like boxing.
So
at one point, I thought Bellator was called Bellator.
Oh, did you?
That's how unsure I was.
I'm
like,
when they first came out a while ago, I thought they were like a Latin America MMA production.
Hell yeah.
Right? That's what, when they first came out, I'm like, Bellator, like, who's this? I thought it was just a whole bunch of, I don't feel
I'm going to look up what Bellator means.
Oh, true.
Or can you look that up? Because I still don't know.
I'll Google it.
But, no, Bellator has a couple of good fighters. Here's the issue. Here's another thing. Their approach is, let's put on big shows. Let's put on drama. They're taking the WWF model, and that's entertainment. Yeah. And when you do that, that's fine, because you have your niche. But you're doing it with old timers. Yeah, you're doing it with Chael Sonnen versus Tito Ortiz. This is Tito Ortiz's last fight. Yeah, Chael Sonnen hasn't fought in 3 years, and I don't know. Chael Sonnen is he's getting older.
Sonnen,
and then who else did they do it with? Hoist Gracie,
yeah.
Ken Shamrock. It's like, okay, we watched
They're
the fight.
taking like more traction, like Kimbo Slice and that Dada 5000.
Yeah, I mean,
all those things.
Rest in peace, Kimbo Slice. But goddamn, why'd you take that fight?
That shouldn't be on.
Yeah, Dada 5000. The guy's name is Dada 5000.
That makes the sport look bad.
It makes it look terrible.
Yeah, getting all these circus fights.
Yeah.
But I understand you're trying to get ratings. You're trying to get people to watch your program. So hopefully you're putting on a stud of a card.
And here's another thing we have to take into account. Bellator is not taking the pay-per-view model. They're on, regular TV. They're on Spike TV. Right? Spike TV?
Yeah.
They're on regular TV. They're not doing pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So they have to do a little differently to get those casual watchers.
That's true. You know what? I can't. It just reminds you of. I apologize for bringing wrestling back in, like WCW. They picked up all like the older guys, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Lex Luger, all that stuff.
X-Pac.
Yeah, and they made it a big brand. But if you don't develop the youth, you're gonna fall short. Yeah, and that's how WWE ended up winning, because their youth kind of took over. So hopefully Bellator kind of takes a page, or they learn from that mistake. Like they have all these older guys, or this old card coming in, but I hope they're gonna start pushing like the younger guys.
Yeah, I hope so. They have to make more stars, man. It's like this. I'm looking at two different companies, right? One company is pushing everybody, young guys, older guys, but mainly young guys.
Mix of everyone, yeah.
And then the other company is pushing older guys, like past their prime older guys. Yeah. Who am I going to trust? Yeah. The company that's pushing all the older guys, like, those guys might not even be in the game next year.
It's true.
Why would I want to watch that guy? And if that guy wins the belt, it's like, huh?
Not sexy.
It's not. It doesn't look good. It looks sexy. Like, so you must not have competition.
Yeah. You got to have, hopefully their long-term kind of kicks in. Whatever it is, hopefully they do. Well, their only shot is like having like a star kind of rise up.
They got to push Michael Page a lot more. They have to push Michael Chandler a lot more.
Michael Chandler is a monster, man.
Yeah.
He is a quick back. Speaking of, not reminds me totally, but kind of like Sean Shirk, like that stockier.
Kind of, yeah.
And I forgot, Sean Shirk was quick, man.
Yeah, he was a good boxer.
With him and BJ Penn were going at it, if he caught him with any of those punches, man, that BJ dodged, night, homie.
NyQuil.
Night.
Yeah.
Get the pillows ready. Fluff them up. Get the blanket. Wrap it around you.
And that was another style. BJ incredible fight, because he knocked Sean Shirk out.
Yeah, man.
But they need to start pushing these other fighters that are really good and are younger.
Yeah.
Push Michael Venom Page. Push the guy. Yeah. All right, he didn't look so hot in his last fight, and he's still like, he doesn't have as many fights as the veterans, but
true.
You need something. Push the damn guy.
Yeah, you
Holy
do, man.
crap.
Yeah.
Make him a main eventer.
Or anyone else, man.
Michael Chandler could sell pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Michael Venom Page could sell pay-per-views. MVP can sell it.
We'd bite. I'd bite.
Right?
If
I would.
Any of those guys, yeah. And it was a good thing, too, that what they did perfectly. Speaking of Michael Chandler, him beating Henderson elevated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good thing that they brought in Henderson to kind of
to
get Michael Chandler
well,
going in.
They probably thought, hey, it's a win-win. We bring in Benson Henderson, who has star power.
Yep.
If he beats all these guys,
we have a star.
beautiful. We still have a star, an even greater star.
Yeah.
If one of our guys beats him, he becomes a star. It's a win-win.
Not only that, but it legitimizes their fighters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It says like, oh, we're not. It's just not UFC. Not all UFC fighters can come here and start doing whatever they want.
Yeah, because we have
legit fighters. Kind of was like cool when WEC kind of folded in and was bought. I was rooting for WEC because I'm like, I want them to do well because I want to let us know like WEC had great fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So when Cerrone, who else was there? Jose Aldo were all coming up. I'm like, I hope they do well.
Yeah, Cub Swanson.
Yeah.
Same thing with Pride.
Oh, true.
Pride
true,
was
true.
the.
See, that was right before
You were
I got
thinking of
into
Pride.
it.
Okay.
No. Like that, I started getting into it more like 2006, 7, 8.
Now think about when WEC was around and UFC was around.
Okay.
There was like a little, because WEC had the weight classes WWE, UFC did not.
Yeah.
Right? The lighter weight classes. You could still kind of compare the 155-pound division with the 135 in WEC, and you're like, I don't know. Their fighters are good, but they might not be that good. In Pride, they had a lot of the same weight classes.
True.
So you can directly compare fighters. You can directly compare Shogun Hua with Chuck Liddell.
Oof.
Or Dan Henderson, or Vanderlei Silva, or Crow Cop with Tim Sylvia, or any of those heavyweight guys. So when Pride fighters came over, because the UFC bought them, we were like, oh, snap. What's going to happen now?
Even more. You're probably that must have been an exciting.
Yeah.
It makes it, I regret or not, it just sucks that I wasn't until I didn't watch a Pride. It
was great.
Yeah, it was great, man.
But one of the things that happened was one of the great things that happened to UFC, which legitimized them the most. Because they kept claiming that they had the best contenders. They had the best fighters. They had better fighters than Japan.
Yeah.
You go to Japan, you're fighting slumps.
Okay.
You come to U.S. and fight in the UFC, you're fighting the greatest, the world's best.
Okay.
They came over. Shogun didn't look hot. Crow Cop didn't look hot. They didn't even get Fedor. Dan Henderson lost. You know, like a lot of their guys didn't do so hot.
Yeah,
so
it took Shogun. It took Shogun a bit to start catching on, man. Yeah.
I mean, his first fight in the UFC was against Mark Coleman.
Yeah.
Or was it Forrest Griffin? It was either one, and he didn't look hot in either of those fights.
Yeah.
Remember the Mark Coleman fight?
Yeah.
Both guys looked like they were 70 years old fighting in there.
Super slow, man. You know, it's crazy too. Like the way the sport is evolving. With us, we're kind of at the inception of everything, where all the fighters that we see right now are more like the old school. Like to refer back to NBA is like. Say BJ Penn, or like these guys are more like Wilt Chamberlain to us, Kareem Abdul, Pistol Pete, Nate Archibald.
They're not that old.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like that's who they are in like that time, because the sport's evolving. We haven't seen like LeBron James.
Yeah,
yet,
true,
you know what I
true,
mean?
true.
Like there's a
I see
sport
what you're saying.
evolving, and the kids grow up doing it. Because a lot of these guys, when they started playing it, who knows when they started playing basketball? You know what I mean? So it's exciting. It's an exciting time.
To me, BJ, now that I think about it, is like Reggie Miller.
Okay.
I feel like BJ, Reggie Miller, same guy.
Okay.
Same guy.
Yeah.
They're polarizing.
True.
They had a specialty, right?
Yeah.
You feared the guy.
True.
You don't give
true.
him open space.
You know what? That's true.
You feared the guy. Did Reggie Miller win a
Nah,
championship? He didn't.
Trust me, he didn't.
But still,
it hurts.
you feared the guy. He's considered one of the greatest of all time, even though he didn't win the championship, even though BJ has a bad record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
I get you. I see where you're going with it.
And Reggie was at that older time, not like the newer guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I get you.
Whereas, like, Yair is like Steph Curry right now. Yair is like
Russell
Westbrook. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, not as efficient. You know what I mean?
But
Yair, Russell,
fast, young,
athleticism.
exciting.
Not saying Russell Westbrook isn't skilled or anything. He's skilled, but you could,
he's not there yet. He didn't win the championship. Neither did Yair. They're both young. They're up and comers.
They're exciting. You pay to watch that.
Yeah.
If Yair ends up being in the co-main event, not a main event yet,
To me, John Jones is the LeBron James.
Yeah. I could say LeBron James, Magic Johnson type of player.
Both guys go on winning streaks. Both guys dominant.
Mm-hmm.
They make it look silly sometimes. Both guys multiple-time champions.
Yeah.
Both guys you don't F with.
Yep.
But you're still like, are they the greatest of all time?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah,
I don't know, because
exactly.
Michael Jordan's behind us.
Exactly.
Anderson Silva's behind us. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to see a few years now when, like, say our kids grow up and they say, "Oh, this is the greatest fighter of all time." We're like, You never saw Anderson Silva fight. You never saw John Jones fight. You never saw all these.
You know what's scary? John Jones is like 31.
I know, man.
He still has probably another 10 years where he can just pull out some crazy stuff. Granted, Anderson, some of his most fantastic knockouts were like later 36, 37 years old.
True.
When he knocked out Forrest, when he knocked out Vitor, those weren't like 31, 32-year-old Anderson.
Man.
When he first came into UFC, he was a great striker, but he wasn't doing anything like magical.
Okay.
He was knocking people out, but it wasn't
not
like
in that fashion.
In that like memorable moments. Holy crap!
You,
Jordan, wins the 1998 championship with that crossover jump shot. You're like, whoa,
Byron Russell. Oof.
That's memorable. Yeah. Anderson knocking out Vitor with that front kick. Yeah. You're like, whoa, that infamous picture.
Yeah.
John Jones still has that chance to do that stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah. It's right now. I think it's a race between those two. You know what I mean? John Jones still has. John Jones. If we're doing personality, like everything wise, who he reminds me of?
Who?
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Right?
Good point. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant went through that whole court. Allegations, all that thing.
Yeah.
Took a hit on his name, but rose up and won again. So
went from bad guy and now became a good guy, Kobe.
Exactly.
Now John is, he's a bad guy, but he's turning into a good guy because he's just like saying,
he's just real.
I'm me now.
Exactly.
Like me or hate me.
So if I could see someone like Kobe Bryant come back from the grave, because that was
Holy crap.
rape allegations that he took a hit. Everyone dropped him.
Yeah.
The only one
that's almost worse than murder.
Yeah, dog. It's
murder's
really,
like that could have been an accident. That could have been. I slipped and fell.
Rape is brutal, man. Rape allegations. He took a hit. Everyone left him. He had no one. And then I think Nike.
Nutella.
He was actually he was sponsored by Nutella. That's the reason why it was in my head. But Nike was the first one.
They took a chance again?
Yeah, they took a chance.
Where was he before that again?
Adidas.
Adidas,
and then he went to Nike, and then he messed up, and they cut him. And they're the first ones to sponsor him again on that comeback.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, man.
And they were like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. So I wonder what John Jones is gonna do, because the first one to really sponsor him was that German whatever, like that supplement thing.
It's a German supplement?
Yeah, it's a German something. I forgot what it's called. Yeah. So
yikes.
But hey, the jury's still out for him. I hope him nothing.
He
but
was
the best.
Speaking of Kobe being sponsored by Nike, John Jones, I believe, was the first official U.S. Nike sponsored MMA fighter.
He was.
So
that was a huge deal, man. Huge deal. Like, he always wanted that. I always was hoping he was going to stay with Form. I was like that Uriah Faber company, Form.
Yeah.
Athletics.
Oh, you rather him be at Form than
Nike?
Because
then the price is going to go up. You know what I mean? And, the niche part of us is like, we don't want the things to get too popular. We like things to get popular, but not to the point where like everyone is talking about it. Like, it's like the black sheep.
People keep talking.
People talking.
My people. Speaking of Nike, Reebok, all that stuff, is there room for improvement with the Reebok deal?
Yeah, just make the stuff look cooler. One, make it look doper.
No,
Reebok
is there room for other sponsors on there?
They should, man. Like, they have Monster sponsoring. You see a little patch in them. You know what I mean? At least give them like 2 or 3 sponsors. It's not going to hurt anyone.
And say it has to be placed in these spots.
Yeah,
we're controlling it.
Yeah.
See why
if you look at the bottom of the octagon, you see all these damn sponsors. How come these fighters can't?
Or here, open the room, because I know it seems like it gets super complicated. This guy has this logo. I need that logo. Blah blah blah. Open the door for like 10 other companies. Just to put sponsorship in and start sponsoring fighters. Now those companies, they have their spot. It's all one logo. They just like Monster. They start
uniformed. I agree, man. I agree. It just seems like the right thing to do.
And
just do the right thing, man.
Maybe leave out like gear companies.
Yes.
And
true.
Have
Yeah,
Like Monster is a-
supplement, Gatorade,
Yeah.
any of those things. Just help them out, man. Because you just got to do the right thing. Because it's gonna bite you in the butt if you get if you get too greedy and you think about just collecting money and not giving back to things, they're gonna bite back. And we're just talking right before we went on air. Who knows if Bellator might like kind of take what's it?
What's up?
I can't think of the word, man. I'm really bad today. Maybe I should have drank some Chimera coffee. What if like Bellator flipped it and became like the leader of MMA kind of? They were like, no way. But hey, you
never know.
Yeah, if
You
you
never know.
like, you ever seen when it messed up and like really messed up their relations or like their fighter relationships,
Dude,
and
yeah.
everyone goes to Bellator, and then it's
Dude.
a win-win for all of us because everyone's fighting for different
Yeah.
places. We could talk about it. It'll be like that Pride versus UFC type of thing. Competition's always good. So.
It is good.
On that note, guys, we got to go. We hope you enjoyed this episode. A big shout outs to our sponsors. I just mentioned one, Chimera. Get the dopest coffee, the tastiest coffee.
Infused with
nootropics, guys. You want to concentrate better. You want to feel good, perform better.
ChimeraCoffee.com. Coupon code Show the Arts.
And if you want to get the freshest of gear, get yourself some Panda. That inverted gear, baby.
Go to invertedgear.com. Coupon code Show the Art 15.
Mm-hmm.
You'll save some nice money because
Get that
these are not cheap.
freshies.
Rash guards are not
They're
cheap.
not,
you
dog.
need that discount.
You need that discount. And look out for the new hoodies coming out. I'm looking at it right now. They are dope, man. Create Jiu-Jitsu.
Ooh.
It is fresh, and it's a what's it like a what kind of gray? Heather.
That's that
Heather
Heather
blue?
navy blue.
Oof! It is, guys. It's dope. If you're a fan of like the Heather gray, this new hoodie that's coming out is fresh to death, and it feels super good on you.
That's it. Probably by the end of the week.
By the end of the week, hey guys,
it'll be
stay
on the site.
tuned. Again, share, like, subscribe, rate. We're out. Peace.